What is going on, everybody? In this video, I'll be covering the vehicle recovery security contract. Now, I will be doing all the security contracts in the near future, so stay tuned. I'm also going to be doing all of these on the Specialist Plus difficulty because this is the hardest one to do, well, at least that's what it's supposed to be. And the payment pays the most on this one as well. Obviously, this one is $67,000, and I must say, these security contracts are pretty dang fun to do, and they're actually pretty dang easy normally. Obviously, the Specialist Plus ones might be a little more frustrating or annoying than the others, but let's jump right into the vehicle recovery now. Now, the locations for these definitely can vary, but for me, I have to go to Los Santos International Airport for the next part of the mission to start. Once you arrive at the Los Santos International Airport, it will then ask you to head over to the hangar. Now, I'm not going to lie, this one is probably going to be one of the most annoying ones. That's why I'm doing all of these on the Specialist Plus, because I do feel like this is the hardest difficulty on all of these, and many people will be aiming to do these, especially solo, because 67K is definitely something to go after. Once you enter the hangar, it's then going to require you to locate the stolen motorcycle, which is actually the Shinobi, which is not currently in the game, at least when I was recording this video. It might be now. But this is going to be the vehicle you have to go after, and I noticed the hangar has a ton of enemies. This is probably one of the hardest ones to do, at least what I noticed. Anyway, pick your favorite weapon and pretty much start taking the enemies out. As you can see on the minimap there is a lot of enemies that will come shoot at you, so you're going to want to kind of get in a decent area and try to take them out one by one. There will also be more afterwards. Also be careful of the upstairs enemies as well, like the guy that's up there. They definitely can get a little annoying and they could shoot you non-stop. I noticed I actually died multiple times when I was testing these missions out because these people up here would take me out, and well, sometimes I'd shoot them a ton and nothing would happen, so do keep an eye out up here for them. You can also come up here and get a good view of everything if you would like. One thing I recommend doing, but you can also die if you stay in the open too long. You really don't have to stay up here too long, though. You do get a pretty decent view of the entire place, but do be careful because sometimes you're insanely exposed up here, so I recommend coming back down the stairs to take out the rest of the enemies here. And let's go over on this side. There'll also be an enemy on the other side up there as well, so watch out for them. You could use any weapon you really feel like using on this, but for me, I'm running the LMG. Just so I don't really have to reload too often. It makes this a little bit easier. They will head glitch a little bit too. Luckily, you can see them pretty easily on here, so it's not like a head glitch you'd see on like a first-person shooter. Just take them out just like that. Once all the enemies are taken out, though, and you grab the vehicle, another wave of enemies are going to end up showing up once you try to open the door. So there's the last enemy there. We also get a chance to take a look at the new motorcycle, which personally I'm very interested in. This thing looks pretty awesome. So heading on over in this direction here. Here is the new Shinobi right here. This thing looks really cool. Let's jump on it. From what I can see, this bike actually seems pretty dang fast. Not sure if it's going to be able to keep up with the Hakucho drag bike, but I can't wait to test them out and see how they do against each other. So when this one comes to opening the door, now I did end up dying on this one, but it's probably a good thing because I do want to mention this as well. So the second you guys grab the bike and you head over to where the thing is to open the door, do be careful though, because the second you walk over to that, I noticed that another wave of enemies spawn, and they literally spawn right next to where the button is to open the door. So if you are sitting there on the bike, you're most likely going to die like I did. So right when you go over to where the actual button is on the door in the corner over there where you see my bike, I recommend getting off it, immediately heading over to the area where these cars are right here, and pretty much hiding there and getting ready to fight, because two enemies will spawn there, which they did actually drop me, and then a bunch of enemies will spawn over here as well, pretty much right next to you, and you really have no defense on actually taking them out. Once they're all taken out, though, head over and open the door, and that will bring you into the next part, which is basically delivering the bike back to the agency. They are going to send enemies after you, and the issue with using the bike is you pretty much cannot defend yourself and or, stop them from shooting at you. Luckily, you pretty much use any weapon you want and shoot at them, but they will constantly shoot you, and I did die a couple of times while testing this mission out. I noticed that they pretty much will just shoot you the entire time, and they'll keep coming after you, and obviously being on a bike, you're not surrounded by metal or anything to help protect you when getting shot at like that, and or windows that, break. But this bike also seems really fast. I'm looking forward to test this thing out. So taking it on the highway here, might as well do a little test run on it. The handling on it seems really good. As you guys see here, I'm almost pushing 120 already, so this bike will definitely be a great competitor compared to the Hakucho drag bike. Looking forward to seeing if it could actually take over in some ways, like using it on time trials and stuff like that. So after that, you pretty much just head back to your agency, and that will complete this. The enemies will not stop following you, so do keep an eye out for them. Luckily, I noticed we can get past that first area by the hangar there, which I did die a couple times over there. So make sure when you guys leave the hangar, you immediately head back to the agency. Do not sit over there at all, because the enemies will just keep shooting you. You're also in like a big open area too, so they really don't miss at all, I noticed. So try to hover over your snacks maybe when heading out of it. Just keep your health up to get out of the airport, and then pretty much once you're on the street, that's pretty much it. Once you arrive back at the agency, all you gotta do is pull into where the garage little icon is here. That will complete the mission after a little cutscene there with Franklin, and you'll get the $67,000. I also want to throw this at the end of the video as well if anyone was wondering. So I did mention there is different versions of this mission, and they can be pretty annoying, to be honest. The most annoying one I found was the one at the airport, and the other one is going to be at the Humane Lab raids, which requires you to come inside here and steal the vehicle that has the animal in it. So this one could be a little frustrating, I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's not too bad. The enemies could be a little annoying on this one. I'd recommend keeping your health up and just trying to stay out of the line of fire. Luckily, they don't really hide that much. They're kind of in the open, so you can pretty much shoot them pretty easily. But this one with the biggest issue is going to be the vehicle, which I'll get into in a second. You will have to fight your way through to get over here by the garage, which is going to have the vehicle you are looking for. Now, if you are wondering, this area is kind of annoying, honestly. There's a lot of enemies hiding, and pretty much just be careful. If you do die, though, it's okay, though, because you just spawn outside and you come right back in here. So it's really nothing really happens if you do die in these missions, which is a good thing. There's some enemies hiding out here, and they will be on your mini-map. Be a little careful, because sometimes they don't show up right away. So it could be hiding pretty decently, like this one is right here. I noticed from doing this also, the van is always going to be in the front here, so it's going to be this one right in front. Is going to have the stolen animal in it. Definitely take the enemies out first, though, because they can definitely be a little annoying here. Once they're taken out, get in the van and head over to the garage, which will be right in front of it over here. Make sure you guys keep up on your snacks as well, because definitely die pretty easily in these. These guys have some pretty dang good aim. Head over here to the garage. The button is on the corner right there, but do keep in mind once you get to it, like the other vehicle recovery missions, the enemies will spawn behind you again, and this will definitely get a little interesting. I believe there's like 3 or 4 that will spawn back there, as you see on my mini-map. They are now coming toward me, so hit the button there. Now, if you wanted to, you could literally just, well, leave the garage, honestly, in the vehicle, but I'm going to take these guys out first here. So for me, I only had 2, and I know sometimes a guy will spawn all the way in the back over there and just stand there just like that. So watch out for them, and then just get in the vehicle and head out of here. You don't have to kill these enemies, but I think it's a little bit easier taking them out. I'm not going to lie to y'all, once you come out of the building there, this mission is definitely going to be more annoying than the one at the airport, mainly because the guys in these Jeeps literally do not miss any shots, and when you're driving this van, obviously it's faster than the one in the MC business. That thing does like 0 to 60, I think it's like 4 or 5 months. This thing luckily can actually move and get out of the way a little bit and does, well, to 60 a little bit faster. But these guys in these Jeeps are really annoying. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. They're going to frustrate you a little bit. So when you come out of the Humane Labs there's going to be 2 Jeeps that will spawn every single time right in the front. And, well, I have yet to come out of there alive, honestly. I die instantly every single time, but luckily you do spawn nearby. The only unfortunate part is there's a big fence around the entire thing. So you spawn outside of the fence. You have to run all the way back around. And my goodness, it might make you rage a little bit. And once you come out and you go back into the van, another set of Jeeps will spawn behind you. And like I said, they barely miss. After that, though, head out of there and get on the street. Once you guys get on the street, get on the railroad track here, at least what I noticed anyway. And it's pretty hard for them to really catch up to you after that. They really don't bother you as much, which is good because, well, the guys in the Jeeps are super annoying. So getting away from them once you're on the street and or highway, it's luckily a little bit hard for them to annoy you. But nonetheless, if they do pin you or they hit you, they're most likely going to laser you in like a second, so be careful with that. I also wanted to mention that the enemies really don't follow you anymore once you enter the highway, at least what I noticed from testing this out a little bit. This is on the Specialist Plus as well, if you guys were wondering. So once you head over to the agency, pull the vehicle in, and you will complete this mission. If y'all have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below regarding any of the vehicle recoveries.